Hi, this is Braxton, and welcome back to Verse by Verse. We are in episode number 9, and we are grappling with the Bible in slavery. Now, in verse 10, the Apostle Paul is now introducing us to what his appeal is. This is what we've been waiting for the entire length of the book, even though it's not really that long. But anyway, he goes forward and he says, I appeal to you for my son Onesimus, whom I have begotten while in my chains. Now, when we look at this statement, we're not saying that the Apostle Paul has a biological son. We have other textual evidence that that's not exactly what he's referring to. But he's referring to Onesimus as a spiritual son. He says, whom I have begotten. In other words, this conversion, right? He led Onesimus to Christ. Now, this is very crazy to think that as Paul makes this appeal, like a child raising their hand in the classroom, or maybe in a court of law, you're kind of appealing to the judge to change a certain judgment or maybe an attitude that they have towards that person. This appeal that Paul is making is on behalf of a new convert. And apparently, Onesimus met Paul inside of Rome. Now, if you didn't know the math here, that Colossae, which is where Philemon is, to Rome is over 2,000 kilometers in the most direct route you could possibly take. So Onesimus fled to Rome, and even though Paul was in a Roman prison, locked up, shackled, restricted in his freedom, he sensed something in the Apostle Paul that he did not have in himself. Even though he was free roaming the streets of Rome, no pun intended, there he was with the Apostle Paul, essentially saying, I see something in him. He feels more free than I feel, and I'm not even shackled up in a prison. And it was the recognition of that and the introduction of the gospel that led Onesimus to give his life to Christ. And he was born again. He was reborn. He was moved from the power of Satan unto the power of God. He was walking in the newness of life. And this experience is really a process, like a woman being pregnant with the baby. There's the embryo, right? There's the fetus. We do the ultrasound and we're all excited. But during that time, it's a very critical time for the child's growth and development. The child is extremely dependent upon the mother during that period of time. And it is no different for an individual who is being led to Christ. They're extremely dependent upon that person that's teaching them these things and guiding them about how salvation works and what the Bible is saying. And that's what the Apostle Paul was to Onesimus. And this produces a relationship as a father to a son. But he goes on to say, not only have I begotten him in my chains, then Paul says, who once was unprofitable to you, but now is profitable to you and to me. What you may not know is in the original language in the Greek, the name Onesimus means profitable. So Paul is doing a play on words, or what we say in French, a jeu de mots. In this play on words, he's essentially saying when Onesimus was who he was before, he was not actually himself. He was not profitable. He was not Onesimus. But now because he's in Christ, he is now truly himself to you and to me. You see, a lot of people who sit and look in the mirror, they're trying to find themselves. People are on a quest to understand, like an archaeologist digging through the sands of an Egyptian place, or maybe a deep diver going into a dark cave underwater, or maybe a person who is searching like a detective collecting clues, trying to figure out the situation behind this murder scene. This is how many of us are looking for ourselves, and that place to discover who we truly are meant to be is found in Christ. Now, you don't want to miss it as we continue to unfold this story on the next episode of Verse by Verse.